speaking about the monster. What's up, Big Sale? This is your boy Passionate from Enlightened Ministry Bible Church from Los Angeles, California. When we're not riding, we listen to FHO Podcast Radio.
Yo, man, it's your boy Big Sarge from Florida Chapter Soul Brothers, man. Y'all know how I get. I'm always listening to my man Big Sale from FHO Podcast Radio. We keep it motorcycle.
You're listening to MC 101 Talk Show live, hosted by two Gunz, co-hosted by Big Cell, and we talking straight motorcycle protocol. Tune in every Wednesday around 7 p.m. for pure motherfucking facts on FHO Podcast Radio. MC 101, where motorcycling is life.
Say, man, what is happening? It is Wednesday night. You guys already know the drill. You already know the drill. It is what it is. It's going down. Hope everybody's staying safe, shaking the coronavirus. The virus shaking them, doing whatever they, whatever we got to do. You understand me? And it is what it is. We on, man. So, two guys hit me earlier today with this topic, man, and I went and I got popcorn on the way. It should be coming in any minute, because all I'm gonna do is sit back and, with the butter, man, with the hot butter, man, because the hot butter popcorn, and let him take the lead on this one. I was actually kind of blown away. I said, you want to talk about what? What happened? Who? Because, the reason why it really fucked me up, Gunz, is because that's what they call me, a false prophet. Who are you to preach, or who are you to teach? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? So, this was definitely going to be interesting for me to talk about who is qualified and who is not qualified, and why you're listening to people, do this and do that. The whole 9 yards. And you know, that part of it, man. So first off, how was your week? How you been doing? The whole 9 yards. What's happening?
Man, that's still that work at home shit, man. You know how that is. So we just been trying to finish up all this last little things. And when you're dealing with, you work where I work, man, you just on the go all the time. So it's been weird to not have to do all that, but so much extra teaching and so much extra training and supplying and doing all that. So that's been a little different. And just the intake of calls coming in, with this. And I keep trying to tell people like Ocean ain't got shit to do with coronavirus. So y'all, unless it got to do with respirators or something like that, we just don't do that. So, but other than that, man, it's been what it is, man. Got a chance to get out, do some riding. So I've been just trying to get away from it a little bit, man, and just get some miles in, clear my head, just sometimes get cooped up. So you got to get out there.
So for me, man, again, I'm still on this honoring the, stay home order. I have not really been outside, man, to do nothing that that was essential for me. I went and visited my parents, had some work over there at the house that needed to be done. When they did that, it came on back. Found some, went grocery shopping and did some little stuff like that. Other than that, man, I haven't done nothing that no extracurricular activity, none whatsoever. And it's been rough for me, brother. Listening to all these motorcycles pass by and on Facebook, people just say, "Oh, come on and ride your motorcycle." And then I'm on this diet, man. Everything looked delicious. People posted on purpose, So it just is what it is for me, man. But so it is what it is, man. But some good things, man. I'm wrapping up the book. I'm finally finishing my book, wrapping it up. Been really taking advantage of this time where the world is kind of slowed down. And I think, honestly, man, and I don't know how you all feel, but we needed this. I think we all needed this slow down, man, to just, to slow down and get things together and get things in order, man, as far as where we are with our finances, where we are with our game plans, just where we are, period, with the whole thing. Again, I don't preach panic. I don't preach fear. I just preach precaution. So that's just where, me and my family are with it. But other than that, man, it's just another regular day in the neighborhood, man.
Oh, yeah. So
let's get it cracking, man. We owe you tonight, man. We owe you tonight.
Oh,
man.
yeah. But just because you kind of just touched on it. And the way I was looking at it, what kind of got me going on this one was last night with Punch, or last weekend with Punchy, man, just listening to him and addressing things. And so kind of the backdrop and what I've seen over the years is really a transition where people have came into this life or came into this thing and, like they, I'm not going to get too much into what, I'm not naming names or whatever it is, but motherfuckers know what I'm talking about. But, cats, man, they talk and they on these sites and they doing this and they doing that. And they have no historical knowledge, no information, because everything they learned it from the internet. They didn't learn it from actually pounding, like cats like Punchy and the rest of them. You can name a long list of guys that do it, and they put it on a slab and they out there getting it done. And then you got these dudes and I mean, seeing people flying into places and they taking pictures promoting that they rode this way, and you like, wait a minute, you on the West Coast, but yet you don't roll from the East Coast, but it took you what, a day? I mean,
wow.
Like shit that don't even make no sense why you would even promote it like that, because people know that you didn't do that and it wasn't like that. And the whole thing that comes down to it is, I see so many people that's out there right now, and there really is a lot of false prophets. And so when I address false prophets, I address, if you're going to be somebody that's educating and teaching, and you're going to be doing, you're going to be the person that people go to mentor, or you're going to establish yourself as being somebody that somebody can talk to, or they can call you up and you got some information for them. You can't just be that person that's book smart. You got to be that person that's street smart too. And that's where I was really kind of going at, because you got a lot of street smart motherfuckers that ain't never put nothing in the slab. You don't never see them out there You'll never see him on the streets. You don't never see him out on events. And here's one, and I'll put it out there, man. And I went to an event. I'll name it. I went to the pro convention. So when I went there, I'll put it out, man. When I went there, you know, what got me and what really started me to thinking back about this was I went there and there was just a simple question about how to pass a 1% club. And like, there was so much information that was wrong that was being put out. And finally, I got up. I wasn't really, you know, I was really not there to do that. I just went to support my girl Suicide, who was speaking. Much respect to her, Black Pearls. And I went there to support her because I know she puts it down and she don't be fucking around when she start talking. So when she, you know, when I went there, I just was surprised at the so-called information and knowledge that was being presented, and the information and knowledge being presented wasn't things that people needed to know. It was just generalized stuff that anybody can pick up. You could go online and read this. You could go on any post or any page and read this. But how about telling somebody about these roads? And I posted one today and I said, look, I know in '88 when I crossed into Texas, man, I stopped off at this one spot just outside of Dallas, and my man said, yo, if you riding right now, you need to motherfucking get your ass a hotel room because you on that sports bike, you're not gonna make it to the next gas station. And I was like, oh, okay. And he said, no, he said, because I gotta come get your ass when you break down. He said, so get yourself a room for the night because the gas stations don't open up until 7 in the morning. And there's only 2 more. I mean, so that's information and that's knowledge that people would specifically need to understand, or just give them some tools or whatever it is to get on this road and get on this highway. But those are the things that those guys miss. Like when you got somebody that's internet prophet or internet, you know, like he done learned all the shit from the internet. When he get around punchies, when he get around you, when he get around me, when he get around, you know, my man from Bike Junkies. See, we done heard, we done seen, we done been. So when you get there and you start talking about bullshit, we automatically go know, man, come on, man, get the fuck out of here. And that was the reason why, one individual that I knew, he'd never go nowhere. Because the second he get around real OGs and real people that actually have some knowledge, he would just clam up and go in the corner. And he would clam up and go in the corner because the topics and the information that was being presented and put out, he had no general knowledge of it because he never rode. And that's an issue. And so I say that if you're going to be a person that's a mentor, if you're going to be out here giving information, being that person that people come to and ask questions about, at least be a motherfucker that's on the highway and give them some information or whatever it is. And somebody just put it up there, man. But that's what it is, man. That you got to have somebody that got that slab, that slab knowledge. And if he ain't got that slab knowledge, then what knowledge are you really providing? What knowledge are you giving? In essence, your club should be providing you with the foundation of what you need to know about your club. Once you get the foundation of what you need to know about your club, and once you patch, your whole world changes because now you're not about just a prospect or a probie or whatever it is. Now you're a part of the MC community. And there's a lot of other, like differences, situations and stuff like that you need to know about. And that's where I think like going forward, that information is the stuff that needs to be put out. That's where, these guys that are the experts, these guys are the old school dudes, these guys are the guys that you should be in their ears and talking with. But I done been to an event and I seen an old school dude and I went over, man, I sat down with him and we just started talking, chatting, or whatever it is. And when I went away and walked away from him, didn't nobody come over there and talk to him. And this old school dude is a guy you want to talk to because he knows about the histories. He knows about the information. He knows fucking everything. But you're walking away because you're too interested in partying, this and that. So, those are the guys that you should be talking with. And those are the guys that you should be having some information on. Not these false motherfuckers running around giving out bad information. The one thing that I will always say is there's 2 levels of this. You got club shit and you got the shit that everybody else knows. So you may have club specific stuff that your club talks about or your club does. But if I say something or you say something to me about some club shit, and if I don't know what you're talking about, and I go to the next man, I ask the next man about it, he don't know what you're talking about, and I ask the next man if he don't know what you're talking about, then that shit ain't got nothing to do with the MC community, man. That's got to do with your club. And maybe that's some shit your club putting out, but that don't mean that that's what you should be putting out in general topics, because that information ain't really specifically what is like tradition and protocol. That's information that maybe your club puts out. And so that's where I'm having issues with some of these people out here now, because you got people that's putting out information, and yeah, that information is good for your club. That information might be something your club do. That might be some stuff your club pushes around, but that ain't information that you need to provide to the 99% of club that they looking at you with starry eyes, and you tell them, well, yeah, this is what you're supposed to be doing. Next thing you know, these cats is running around with patches on that you done told them is okay. And they run into a real 1% and they like, what the fuck is that? And that was the case that happened.
You mentioned a couple of things that I'm gonna preach on, and I'm gonna tell you right now. This I blame you guys for. I blame all of the people that are listening to this podcast. I blame all of the people that ride motorcycles. I blame all of the people that are in motorcycle clubs. I blame all of the people that that put up with this bullshit. One of the reasons why the PRO is a joke.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna speak on. Let me speak on. I've been one of the reasons why the PRO is a joke is because they never bring you people that you respect. They never put people in front of you that you respect. The baddest PRO that ever happened and didn't even happen, what was supposed to happen, was when it was me. These were your speakers. Now think about this. Listen to what Gunz just said and think about this. It was me, Big Punchy, and Snowman were the speakers for the PRO. You can't get no more information and no more knowledge than that. Now, I didn't speak because when we negotiated the terms, it was supposed to be just us three, and we were supposed to have a run of the floor, and we were supposed to be able to talk person to person, to get down like we get down, and for us to be able to have control of the room and do what we do. And we were going to set that bitch on fire. But right in the middle, before everything started, in comes one of my just say higher echelon people, folks, and he comes in there, and takes over. And I was just totally against it. And the first thing he said is, "Let me tell y'all bitches something. How am I gonna teach anybody, or how would you let anybody teach you anything?" And the first word out of his mouth is, "Let me tell you bitches something." Yeah. All you bitches in here and this and so. When it comes to that, if you guys don't start demanding that they bring you people that motorcycle, and they bring you people that you respect, and they bring you people that you know is gonna give it to you 100, then you're gonna keep getting the bullshit you've been getting. But a lot of y'all don't give a fuck no way. The PRO ain't nothing but a fuck fest for you. It ain't nothing but for another Myrtle Beach. That's all it is. Like Gunz spoke on earlier, you don't even go to Myrtle Beach to respect the history. You don't even go down there and at least go take a picture or look at the clubhouse of the individuals that started Myrtle Beach. You feel what I'm saying? You won't even do that. You just gonna go down there, pop your ass, and get on your little motorcycle, burn some rubber and all that old shit, tear the city up, and leave. You don't even go pay homage to the G's that put it all and made it all possible. And it's the same thing with these events. If you don't start demanding that they respect who you are, they respect the money that you spent, they respect your motorcycle, your club, then why would they? Stop making this thing a party and a fuck fest, and start going to the PRO for the PRO was originally supposed to be designed for a weekend of college. You already got the basic motorcycle shit down. Now let's come here for this weekend, and we're gonna teach you the shit behind the scenes, the other shit, the shit to build and develop chapters, the shit to build and make and to turn all of your club members into presidents. You feel what I'm saying? To make all of your members understand what your role is, and for you to understand them. That's what the PRO was designed for. But now they got a party Friday night that you got to pay to get into, separate from the other shit you pay for.
Yeah,
and then they got a party Saturday night, separate from what you understand what I'm saying?
So review. Paper party, man.
So I mean, I'm just saying, and we can go on with a lot of these things. If you as a biker, if you as an individual, if you as a person, because my dollars matter to me. When I spend my little few coins, they matter to me. I'm not just throwing my coins. Just, oh, you got an event? Oh, here you go. Oh, you got an anniversary? Oh, here you go. Oh, you got? You got a fish drive? Oh, here you go. You got no. My coins matter. All my little coins matter. I need every last one of my little coins. My brown ones, my silver ones, and my green ones. I need them all. You understand me? So if you don't start demanding that, hey, when I spend my coins, you better give me what I came here to get, or what you sold me, because that's what they sell at the PRO. Oh, come and hang out, come get this now. And then when you get there, it ain't nothing but a big ass party and who this. Come on, man, that's y'all fault. Period, point blank. And if you don't demand that they start bringing you people that you can respect, Two Gunz, there's no way in the world he shouldn't be at a teacher or a speaker at a PRO convention. It's no way in the world.
And
I'm just saying.
The reason why I never was like that is because of all of the extra stuff that was going on. I've never believed in pay per teaching somebody whatever it is. I mean, I know we do what we do, try to keep the page alive, try to keep this alive. That's understandable. But my knowledge has always been free. My knowledge has always been what was given to me. And I watched a couple bikes and I did a bunch of things to get that knowledge and just hung out with people. But like, people don't understand what you're saying is you get some heavy hitters in there and get some people in there, you got to take care of them. You got to put them, say, okay, look, we do it this way, but we're going to take care of your hotel room, or we're going to take care of this, or we're going to take care of that. That's for them, not necessarily paying them, but that's for them coming there and making sure that they're not coming out their pockets or whatever it is. But in a lot of cases, that wasn't it. But then the whole issue that comes down to it is, why are you going to have heavy hitters and people that are coming to these events, driving all the way over there, riding all the way over there, flying all the way over there,
flying, yeah.
And then they come in there and they see it. For what reason? And so that's the reason why you don't get heavy hitters. That's the reason why the information and the knowledge that it gets is it's 50-60% at best. And I'm not down in the pro convention. I used to be anti-pro convention. I'll be straight up honest with all you guys out there. I used to hate them straight up. I thought it was a pyramid shit. I thought it was fucked up. That's where it was. But I stepped back and I saw the benefits of what you could do with the pro convention if it's done the right way, and if things happen the right way in terms of getting the right people in there. Because you gotta have heavy hitters. You gotta have people with information and knowledge. You can't have a president's meeting with presidents that don't know anything, or you can't have a president's meeting with people that don't have public speaking knowledge or information, because then it just becomes the idiotic, verbal concept that they're trying to promote. Either they're trying to promote hostility, either they're trying to promote dominance, but that don't motivate people. That whole shit don't motivate people. It's 2020, man. Motherfuckers ain't scared of you walking in there talking about bitch this and bitch that and fuck y'all and blah, blah, blah. Man, fuck that. What you do is you walk in there intelligently. You walk in there, address and talk with people in an intelligent forum, and you provide them with information and knowledge. And when you do that, people gonna come back. They gonna want to hear you talk, because you giving them something and you provide them with something that's a positive outcome, a positive process. Everything in it's positive. But if you starting out with that negative shit, or you starting out trying to dominate or be dominant over people, man, they don't want to hear that shit. But what you do and what it could provide is significant information across the boards. But that takes a lot of information or a lot of people to get together to make that convention into something that people can say. Because I've never been a believer in a party. I've never been a believer in that. I've always been a believer in, if you go in to an event then you're going for a specific reason. You're going for fellowship. You're going to meet people. You're going to do stuff like that. But if it's only about the party, then you're going for the wrong reason. Because I mean, they have all these breakouts. And trust me, you know, I mean, we done been in the corporate levels, so we know about going to training and going to breakouts and doing stuff like that. And all those things like that they got kind of lined up with the breakouts. All the information is that's the way that typically you would go to a convention, and that's the way that training happens across the spectrum. But if you don't have quality people teaching, and if you don't have people that people can look at and say, yo, I respect this dude, I respect that guy, the second that something comes out of his mouth that's fucked up, or that you know that's not fucked up, man, the ears go off. They don't want to hear it no more because they looking at it like, I know more than you. What the fuck is you doing up on this panel? And that's really, you know, when you look at it, that's really kind of where it's at. And it's not about the people that's up there teaching more than making sure that the people's up there teaching are teaching people what they need to know, and they have the capability to be able to teach people the way they know. Not every motherfucker can get up there and have a conversation with somebody and give knowledge and information and pass down information. They can't relay that information like that because that's not what they built like. But then you do have individuals that they got the gift of the gab. They can get up there and communicate and talk. They don't feel pressure. I know a motherfucker, man, he the hardcorest motherfucker in the world, man. Man, that motherfucker will kill us in a hot second. But you try to get him up in front of anybody and talk and communicate, and man, look, that motherfucker phone up like a damn Decepticon.
Well, I mean, my thing too, and I tell people this all the time, like even when it comes to like our show, I'm gonna just use our show, MC 101. How do you watch a show from MC 101 where you could catch Big Sale on his motorcycle in your state, in your city, in your town? Same thing with Gunz, on his motorcycle in your city, in your state, in your town. How do you go from watching us, and I'm not gonna put no names out there, but then you watching a whole nother show that I've never seen this person nowhere ever on a motorcycle? You understand what I'm saying? All I do is see them behind the camera. And I'm asking people, how do you what you know, because when you go and this is my gripe, and I'm past it now, but this was at one time, this used to hold me down. How do these people have all these followers, but they're not riding their motorcycle? How do these people have all of these followers, but they're not putting in the work? They're not amongst the people, because understand this, my knowledge comes from being amongst the people. My knowledge comes from getting out there, pulling up, first off, preparing to be there, spending the money, making sure the bike is working, pulling up, and then sitting down with the OG, because most of your OGs, they don't do phones, they don't do Facebook, they don't do Messenger and all the rest of that shit. That's where my knowledge comes from. My knowledge comes from being able to call Gunz. Gunz, what's happening? Hey, what is this about? My knowledge comes from pulling up, man. If you ain't pulling up, how is you teaching? You understand what I'm saying? If you ain't in the trenches, if you're not in the battle, you're not in the war, then how can you teach? You know, fight. How can you? And I just don't understand that. And it's the same thing even with everything that we do from this point forward, from the roundup to the PRO convention, to all the stuff that we just been like cattle, just move, just go on and give them your money and go on about your business. My thing is this. That's why I speak on Tampa. This thing in Tampa. This is why you have to respect Tampa. And I'm not because I'm involved, but I'm gonna tell you why. Because the fact that they reached out to somebody that's motorcycling and they brought me in and said, hey, what do we need to give you guys in order to make this event a success? What do you guys need as motorcyclists? How do we accommodate your motorcycle? How do we accommodate you? You know, here's the police chief, here's the police chief, here's the mayor, here's the commissioner, you know, here's all of the people that matter that can make these decisions. Now tell them what they need to do in order to honor you guys and to get you guys an event worthwhile. How can you not respect that?
Here's the crazy thing, man, is there's somebody that's in South Carolina that has, for the last 4 years after Mayor Haley or whatever her name is, after she came out and called for the ceasing of the actual Black Bike Week, there's been one voice in fucking South Carolina that has kept that event going. And I'll put that out there to y'all. Tell me who that one person is. who is the one person that's actually still out there, you know, basically putting in the work and making sure that Black Bike Week, and it's one person. The bad part about it is when push came to shove and they needed to get people to come to a major event, and this was an event that they wanted to get a lot of numbers out there and have people out there, and nobody showed up to the damn event. And it was on a Saturday morning, and nobody showed up to the event. And Mr. Fluid already hit it up. It's Hills, and Hills has done more for South Carolina. And here's the crazy thing about it: she is probably one of the most unknown people after All Rise Radio kind of went off the line. But when I talk to people, they're like, "Oh yeah, we didn't even know that." Motherfucker, how don't you know that? And if you don't know that, then that tells me how far or how invested you are into this MC lifestyle, because you should know the major players in this game. And that's kind of one of the biggest issues. The thing I looked at is what you was talking about earlier, and it goes both ways. So you might have the hardest motherfucker in the world, and he putting in work, he doing this, but he don't talk. And then you can have a motherfucker with gifted gab, but he don't put no miles in. So you look at it, and that's what I wrote on my page, is what's the lesser of the two evils? You don't just have a motherfucker that's, I want to listen to the motherfucker that's rough and rugged and get him to tell me about some shit, then have somebody trying to talk to me about, oh, I put these miles in. Okay, so what miles you put in? Oh, I was riding my bike over here, riding my bike over there. And you're like, wait a minute, how you get to motherfucking West Coast from New York in a day and a half? You know, that ain't physically possible. I don't care who you are. You know, I mean, that's basically almost physically possible, especially from the northeast. And
yeah, well, real quick, I used to ride my ass off. I ride now, but when I first came into this game, Gunz, I used to ride like a motherfucker. And it took the legend, the great, the one and only Highway Smiley to say, "Sell, you putting down all these miles, you killing it. What have you seen? Who do you know? What have you seen and who do you know?" And when he said that, that hit me like a ton of bricks.
Yeah.
He said, "Who do you know? What have you seen? What story can you sit down and tell your grandkids about? You know, what can you teach the next biker coming up? What can you teach the brand new dude, like you said, like Gunn said earlier, with the starry eyes and looking up at you and just admiring the fact that, you know, he's finally able to ride a motorcycle? What can you teach him? What can you tell him? There is almost nowhere in this here United States that I can't take you to on a motorcycle. That's me. Yeah. I just proved it last year. When I took 30 plus 40 some people from Atlanta, Georgia to California that had never been that distance before. And I met 70% of them at the gas station that morning. I had never met them before.
That's just big right there. You know, it's like my man Weasel. I mean, Weasel the same way, man. He grabbed motherfuckers that ain't never ridden before, and he take the time to get out there and just, hey, man, we gonna take our time and we gonna get down. I understand your legs ain't built like this, and I understand your bike legs, so y'all know what I'm talking about. But this is the things that we talk about, like, and that I wrote it on the page. Is there's terminology that when you talking to people, they know you know what you're talking about. There's terminology, and all of a sudden, you know, you saying, yeah, you know, I know your legs ain't built like that or whatever it is, and they looking down at their legs, and you like, yeah, that motherfucker don't know shit. So, but you know, it's like he's the one that grabs the ladies, grabs the guy, you know, people that ain't never ridden distances. They say, yo, man, I'm going down to Florida, man. Y'all jump on my tail, man. We rolling. And you know, that's I salute that. You know, I'm going out to California in August. And anybody that's in the route or along the route, I'm going north, then south. I said, man, look, y'all want to match up? Let me know. I'm leaving around the 20th, around August or whatever it is, and I'm just riding. And I'm gonna try to go live, man. Shit, I might do a GoFundMe page so y'all motherfuckers help me out. But you know, when you look at it, man, it's just these miles and putting those miles in. You can't take away that experience, because when you start to talk about things, like here was one, there was an accident on the road. I drove through Kansas, and we was in the middle of fucking bumfuck Kansas, and ran into this town and had the biggest fucking yarn in the world. And you can't, that's shit, man, that you just don't see sitting behind behind your computer screen. Those are things that you don't get to experience. Going to a silver, going to like a greasy spoon and saying, yo, hey, what's the best greasy spoon in this state? And they'd be like in the middle of fucking nowhere, and you got a detour hour and a half just to get to it. But you know what? You go to that motherfucker and you just like, man, this is the shit. And the only thing I would say about me, and the only issue I wish I wish I could go back in time and be able to do it different, because I got pictures of landmarks and pictures of this and pictures of that, but I never got a chance to really get with the people and enjoy with the people and take pictures with the people. I met so many great people on those roads that I wish I could go back to now and be able to go back to them and look at them and, man, say, hey, I appreciate all the information and knowledge you gave. Because I was like y'all, man, I was a little jit, man. I was 21 when I started really getting out on them roads and riding them roads. And there were so many old people, man, and so many old riders and things like that that gave me, and they long gone, but they gave me so much information about finding the YMCAs, because the YMCAs at the time had rooms, guest rooms where you could sleep at, like not halfway houses, but the bed and breakfasts, man. That's, when you couldn't get a hotel, try to find a bed and breakfasts. I mean, campgrounds, this and that, routes and stuff like that. I mean, so much information that's out there, but you don't know that information sitting behind your computer, man, talking about, well, is this and is that. You got to get out there and put the miles in. And, man, those miles, hey, I'm a man, what's the name, talking about 20 degrees riding in the weather and going to Florida. That was a motherfucking trip, boy.
Well, it's just like this, like I tell everybody, man. For me, can you imagine, Gunz, if Toby Jean, the East Bay Dragons, if Hero and them from Chosen Few, if Poncho and all of them cats, even some of your earlier, your ex-club, some of the earlier cats, if they had social media back then and social media was at a height back then, bruh, you talking about seeing some beautiful scenery and conversations and jokes and laughs, and my goodness, it would be
beautiful.
It would be wow. It would be whatever. And that's why now, for example, and I'm gonna just use that ride we took to California. That ride is monumentous for a lot of people that took that ride for the first time. They'll never forget it. They'll never forget Nipsey had just died. We got a chance to go to see his memorial and go to where he, the picture on the wall and take that picture. And these are conversations that you can have with people all over the world that wish they were you at that time. You understand what I'm saying? We get to California, and then the Soul Brothers escort us through the city, man. Escort us from all through the city, man, and just take us around. And then we go eat at, Roscoe's. Some of the restaurants, like you was talking about the spoon, we went to Roscoe's and ate. And man, listen, we even went to the beach, man. It was just so many things. But again, you have to, and this is my question, and I'm asking each and every one of you guys that are listening. Why do you follow the people that you follow? Have a standard, have a format, have a something that you have to have. Because understand this. We were in LA. What happened? We were in LA, the same LA where the gangs rule the world, Crips and Bloods, and the whole 9 yards. We were there. We were in there, and we got in and out safely. We didn't lose no motorcycles. We didn't lose no parts. Everybody made it to and from safely. It was a beautiful journey. And I couldn't have did that. Listen, and I'm going to say this now. I'm going to take some time to pat myself on the back. I couldn't have did that. I couldn't have took them people through each state if I had not made relationships with the OMCs and white and black. You understand me? If I hadn't made those relationships, if I wasn't that person in LA and in California, if I didn't have the communication skills, I couldn't have done that.
Oh yeah.
You can't just up and just pop up somewhere. If you have to be able to know, and they have to be able to know. Oh, Cell solid, he good. And whoever with him, they straight. He got him.
They straight, yeah. Yeah.
You know, so it's a lot, man.
Well, that was the story that I posted up there. And what I was addressing with it is the dude he's on Vlad TV, and anybody that's ever been on YouTube and you've seen Vlad TV, he's a guy. And I'll be honest with you, man. His interviews, man, they is hard hitting. And if you get a chance, man, just go. He done interviewed every fucking body. You name it. He done interviewed everybody, and they will talk to him. And it's almost like Gangland, how Gangland was when, you know, like hey, I ain't gonna incriminate myself, but they've got from the smallest to the biggest people that's out there, the biggest fishes, from the people that was associated with Tupac's murder and Biggie's murder, and the people that's you know, Eazy-E's family, and man, they had MCs and all the rest of the stuff on there. And so you look at Vlad, but he ain't never been, like I said, man. I said, if you talking about rolling 60s and you ain't from Hyde Park, then how is you talking about rolling 60s, man? And that's the reason why they would address that, is they like, man, you shouldn't have that shit in your mouth. You know, if you ain't never been to the jungle, you shouldn't be talking about that shit. Or you ain't never lived to the jungle, you lived in the jungle or been to the jungle, then you shouldn't be addressing that and talking that, because that ain't the information and knowledge that you understand, because the information and knowledge that you get from everybody else may not be the true information and knowledge about what's fucking really going on. So you got to be there to see it with your own eyes before you can come out and give a perspective on a specific topic. You can't be talking about shit that you ain't never been a part of. And that's what I talk about when I address false prophets, is people that are internet motherfucking bikers, and you done sat behind your motherfucking screen, and that's all you doing is sitting behind your screen, but don't nobody know you. Ain't nobody seen you. Shit, two guns will pop up on your ass and be at your clubhouse, and you're like, whoa, hey, what's up? I mean, when I went to that damn pro convention, man, as soon as I was like, yo, this is Two Guns, man. I just want to touch bases on this topic. Man, look, the shit got quiet. Motherfuckers just, I mean, everybody turned and started listening. And, you know, I mean, it was just a situation where I saw at that time how hungry people are for information, because they want to hear it from the OGs. They want to hear it from the people. But what I say to, you know, just like what you're saying, is make sure you understand the people that's talking to you. Make sure you understand the level of information and knowledge that you're getting, because anybody can throw out general information. Look, man, this is social media. It wasn't like that. You know, 30 years ago, it wasn't like that. You had to be on the slab to know any information or things like that. Now you can say, hey, you can get your remote and go, Alexa, talk to me about MCs. I mean, and shit will pop up and tell you shit. So, you know, you got to know the people that's been there. They done put the mileage in. They can tell you and they can teach you things that you need to know. It ain't about the general shit. It's about stuff that's going to help you survive out here in these streets, because there are some things that you do and there's a lot of shit you don't, you know?
That part. And you need to know, it from somebody that's in the street, not just sitting behind a desk or sitting behind the camera, or, you know, that again, man, listen, hands down.
Hey, Mr. Fluid said 5,000 Facebook friends. I mean,
that part. Yeah.
Look, I was a part of one of the biggest CEO, ran daily operations for almost 5 years, you know. And so when you look at over 60,000 now, I mean, when I got there, it was right at 2,500, I think 3,000. And by the time I left, we had just topped 52,000. That's 50, almost 40,000 people come to MC 101. When I got there, legitimately, there was only about 40 people that was on the actual site. It was probably about 200. And we just went to almost 10, we're over 10,000 now. But the information and the knowledge that is coming to the page and the way that we set the page up, it allows people to ask questions that maybe they don't get a chance to ask. And it allows people to ask questions that if they ask that on another page or another site, they might get ridiculed. But look, I'm gonna tell you, you can ask the question you're gonna ask, you know, we're gonna mess with you or whatever it is, but ain't nobody gonna ridicule you or they ask gonna be off the page. That's just how it is, because there's a lot of people, man, out there that they don't have the opportunity. Had somebody hit me up today. He in the sticks, man. You know what I mean? He in the sticks. He don't have big groups and big clubs around him that he can go to and drop and get information and knowledge. So all the knowledge he's trying to gain and gather, he has to put it on the road and he has to put it on the slab. And that's what I told him. I said, hey, don't sit behind that computer, man, and think you're going to learn about this world. I said, you got to get on them slab. You got to get on them highways, that blacktop. It's going to teach you every fucking thing you need to know. I said, the other general stuff, man, you can ask, or you can just come on the page and ask, and it'll give you the general rules and regulations. Like, what do you do in this state? What do you do in that state? You know, this is just some general stuff that you got to be careful of. Pass-through pins, we've kind of addressed that. But these are just little samples of stuff that you throw out there, information that's kind of put out there to help out the general public. But the other stuff that you need to know about is the shit you're talking about going to California. You might need to make a motherfucking phone call so you can motherfucking be safe. You know, all of a sudden you want to go down to the Pork and Beans projects. You might need to. You might need to know.
You better know. You better know who's running.
You know, you
listen. What I'm trying to tell you, you better when you pull up and you park your motorcycle at the hotel, you better make sure that you've been cleared to be in the area. Because if not, you come outside and all your motorcycle bags be knocked. Mm-hmm. They be just, So I mean, and it's just the nature of the beast, man. And again, I pride myself on that, man. I pride myself on the fact that I am the person that makes the communication. I'm not always liked, but I'm respected. You know what I'm saying? And that's more important for the most part. And for me, I'm only gonna tell you what I know. You're not gonna call me, hey, say what you know about this, and I'm like, oh yeah, and give you some bullshit. If I don't know, I'm gonna tell you hands down, I don't know that. You say you heard what? All right, let me make some phone calls and let me get right back to you. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make the phone calls. Hey, Gunz, you ever heard of this?
Shit, I mean, I got mentors, man. Look, 86, man, 87. Actually, 87 was the first time, but I've been riding since I was 10, and I've been in the lifestyle since I was about 10 years old. That's 76, man. I'm talking about. I still call OGs up. I still got them numbers. That if something come up, or I got a question, or I'm just feeling like, hey, man, look, here's the deal. Tell me some shit about 1980. You know what I'm saying? Tell me some shit about 1985 that I don't know. Tell me some shit about the 90s, which I was doing in the 90s. And I'll sit back, man, and just listen, because you're gonna get some tools, man, to put in your tool bag. And I always talk about that, man, about them tool bags, man. Is you gotta keep. Understand? I ain't talking about the tool bag with your tools in it. I'm talking about the tool bag.
Trust me. The MC tool bag.
Yeah, that shit that you put in your motherfucking MC tool bag, and that shit is that information and knowledge that you can basically you have an understanding of how shit is done and how things is done. Because there are some protocols and traditions, and there's some things that happen. And it's the same thing, man. When you go to LA, there's ways you do business. You go to Atlanta, there's ways you do business. They go to Tennessee, there's ways you do business. So you always have to know that information and those things. And that's where I feel like, we have to be careful, and people have to be careful on who you're getting your information from, because there's some people out there, and look, they swear the motherfuckers is knowledgeable. And you start to ask questions, or they start to address some things, and you're just like, what? Wait a minute, what the fuck is you talking about? Who told you that, man? Like, who told you that? And I try with all my heart to not just get on there and just do like my old page where get the fuck out of here. I try not to do that, because I'm trying to be responsible in terms of the page, and making sure that I don't do that on the page. But what it addresses is there's some people that come out and they putting out information, they putting out bad information. And it may be good information for your club. It may be good information for your area. But just because it's in your club and just because it's in your area, don't mean that that's good for what's happening in my area or what's happening in somebody else's area. And that's the biggest issue, I think, the biggest problem we have.
Yeah, like I say, it has a lot to do with guns. It has a lot to do with, again, people taking advantage of the unknown. People taking advantage of that starry-eyed, brand new person that just wants to be down and wants to make sure they're doing shit right. I see, and sometimes it's confusing, because you can ask this person. What I tell people all the time is, don't just hear what I say, but test what I say. You feel what I'm saying? Test if Sal said this, hey Sal, and if you don't understand it fully, call me. Don't just go repeat half what you understand. You heard the whole story, but you only understand half of it, and then you go try to repeat it. Well, Sel told me this, and if anybody that know me, for example, you call Gunz and say, "Well, Sel said this." Gunz gonna say, "You sure Sel said that?"
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, is that how he told you? You sure? Well, won't you call him again and ask him personally and see if he say the same thing? Because I'm most likely.
Hey, they on the page, man. They get tired of me doing that, because I tell them, say, if somebody comes up and brings up another topic, you bring up something I don't know about, I question. I'm like, yo, I ain't never heard that, man. I know this is where it is, and this is how it is, and this is what I was taught. But I tell you what, man, I'm thirsty. I'm thirsty. So give me some information, provide me with that information that, you know, that you, hey, make a phone call, have somebody call me and tell me that this is what they did and this is how they did it. Here's the crazy shit about it is everything that I've ever questioned, everything I've ever challenged, I've asked people to provide me with the documentation or the information. And I will be the first one to say, because I'm always thirsty for knowledge. I'm always hungry for knowledge. But I ain't got a phone call yet. I ain't got nothing in my inbox. I check my damn filtered messages and all that shit. I ain't got none of that. That whole man's club shit, I said, look, just tell me what's up, prove it. Show me where before 1903 the motherfuckers was a man club. If you can show me before 1903, I change what I say. If you can't, then let's stop talking about that shit.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I personally asked Toby G. I personally told me, hey, OG, Fred, when you first started East Bay Dragon, did you start out on some men club? He said, no, we started because it was we wanted to be in a motorcycle club. So I mean, how can you? What more?
Well, here's what I never understood, and this is what I never got it, because if you living off the shit about a man's club, and if you're saying it's a man's club, that's like a double negative if you really look at it. Because why the fuck is you worried about what a female's saying anyway if that's the process? You shouldn't have to rename it to a man's club. You should say it's a fucking motorcycle club and you ain't fucking invited. But why do you need to fucking turn it into a man's club? So are you trying to make a statement to the women and saying this is a man's club? If you try to make a statement to the woman, that's a double negative. You didn't already.
And to piggyback off that, the Boy Scouts ain't got to explain that there's no women allowed. It's the Boy Scouts.
Well, not anymore. Now they got the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts, and they got all of them together. So, you know, that's 2020.
Hey, man. So it just is what it is, man. But what Gunz is saying tonight, man, and what we're saying is, man, when you're out here seeking this knowledge, man, take the time to evaluate the person that's giving it to you, the information, and then also don't just take it and run. Fact check it. Fact check the shit out of it.
Fact check it, man. Like,
you can fact check anything I say. If when I go to preaching and teaching, I'm up all night, man. Like when I did the thing on the helmets and the no helmet laws. Listen, bro, I studied. You
was on it, man. Look, I was listening. You was on it, man. You was on it, and that's 100, man. People don't realize I wouldn't even be here right now because my actual face hit the pavement. I would have broke my jaw. You could be dead right now without that full face on. You even know the process of that. But one thing I do want to talk about, and I wasn't gonna say nothing about it, but I gotta say something about it, man. And it's just because it's bothering the shit out of me, and I'm gonna say it. This whole Ronin shit. Okay, it's not an MC terminology. It's not an MC term. The Ronin was based off of Ronin 47. I was on the page when the shit came out. I addressed that it's not fucking MC protocol. Has nothing to do with MC protocol. So stop wearing fucking Ronin side rockers and shit like that. It has nothing to do with the MC. All right, it's an actual Japanese tale. Don't know if it's true or not. But it's a Japanese urban legend about 47. And they've got the actual monuments for the 47. In actuality, it was 48 of them, but the one son was allowed to carry on his father's name. So in the 47 that committed, basically they killed himself. So that's the Ronin 47. It's based on Japanese mythology. It's not based on independent writers. It's not based on anything. And I just said, you know what? I did exactly what you said. I said, you know what? I'm gonna reach out to some OGs and ask them if they know what a Ronin is. And they was like, a what? I said, you ain't gotta say nothing else. I said, what's a Ronin? What's a what? I said a Ronin. They said, I don't know. I don't know what a Ronin is. And when I ask my mentors what a Ronin is and they don't know, or I ask somebody that's just a general person that don't, and they don't know, that tells me that ain't some MC shit that's being passed around. Oh, just so y'all know, that's Gentleman Jack, man. I keep that Gentleman Jack on me. But that's the thing. I wouldn't say that was one of the reasons why this topic came up, but in essence, it's a process of a lot of different things over the years that I've watched people that are on these lines, that are part of these processes, a part of these pages, starting pages, taking over pages, writing on pages, and these dudes have not been a part of an MC long enough to even be fucking talking about it. How you got 6 months as a 1%er and you talking about MC shit, and this is the first time you've been in a fucking club. You ain't never been in a fucking club, but yet 6 months after you patched, you talking like you an OG. So how 6 months you turned into an OG? And the funny thing about it was, I was like, these motherfuckers is just, they just hating on him or whatever it is. But when I finally found the truth out and found the story out, it wasn't the process. It's like all of a sudden these cats is running around like they Superman, but in terms of what it is and in terms of the information and knowledge, their knowledge was not based on actually putting mileage in. Their knowledge was based on the internet. I mean, and that's just how it is. You can't have knowledge on the internet. Your knowledge got to come from the streets. And if you're teaching, you should respect that. You shouldn't be out there fucking teaching, doing shit like that if you ain't fucking never been out there on that damn streets and you ain't never been, on the slab. But cats ain't gonna do that because guess what? Same shit that we talk about all the fucking time. These motherfuckers nowadays want to have recognition. They want to be the motherfucker that's on the set. They want to have that spotlight. And a real motherfucker that's teaching and is giving information don't give a fuck about a spotlight because they're not teaching just the fucking, I need a spotlight. They teaching because they give a fuck about the people that's coming up. They give a fuck about the next generation, so the next generation don't make the mistakes that we made coming up. Every time I hear, oh man, y'all trying to do this and y'all don't want to change and this and that, we change. We change because we learned the hard way. And 9 times out of 10, these same fucking lessons that we learned about, these same motherfuckers is making the same mistakes and doing the same shit. And that's the reason why we always say there's certain things, certain traditions, certain protocols, just stick by them, man, and it's going to make it work because ultimately these motherfuckers is coming back and going, man, we should have did that anyway. Really?
Wow.
I told you that from the start.
We got a caller. Caller, state your name and where you calling from.
Oh, look, shit, Tennessee, Flying Panthers.
How you doing, Chief?
I'm good, man. Hey, I've been following you, been watching you on YouTube, man. I love you. I like the shit you're doing. Yes, Big Gunz, what's up, bro?
What's up, man? What's up?
I was just listening to your comments and everything. About the MC club. A lot of people get it misconfused between the MC and a men's club, That's just like the Tennessee chapter, man. Flying Panthers, we are a men's club. We listen to our women, listen to their advice, but what it all come down to, it's a men's club. We don't disrespect our sisters. We love them just like we love our brothers.
You say you in Flying Panthers in Tennessee?
Flying Panthers, Tennessee chapter.
You guys are outlaws, aren't you? 1%er?
No, we don't rock. We don't do the 1% rock, but we're outlaw.
Okay.
Let's stand as outlaw.
Yeah.
And a lot of people get it. And Gunzy, I feel what you're saying. A lot of people get in a men's club or bikers club, and they want to be hard. I was a hard motherfucker before I got in there.
Yeah.
You know how I got my name, little shit. An 80-year-old woman named me little shit. She said, you know what? That's for real. She said, come here, sit down, little. She said, sit down, boy. That's what she told me. She said, you know what? She said, you ain't nothing but a little shit. And I didn't feel where she was coming from. You understand what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Because, you know, I didn't change when I'm the same motherfucker as I was on the street. The club, the MC club, don't make me hard. I respect people, and I want it in return. Feel where I'm coming from?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah,
Appreciate it.
I mean,
Appreciate it.
100 on that, man.
Flying Panthers. For those of y'all that don't know, how old is Flying Panthers? What, 50 or 60?
Man, they got some. I'd heard that one.
Yeah, Blessed in 72.
72.
Yeah, I'm about to say I'd heard. I think I might read it. Some of them in Memphis.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know they older club. They they got some history up under their belt too. So I appreciate the call.
Yeah, but you know, a lot of people. But you see, you got another new club that's come out in Memphis. I think it's called Flying Panthers or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm coming from, but I had never went down there and met those brothers.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, man. We appreciate you.
Appreciate the call, OG.
All right, bro.
All right now.
All right, bro.
Yeah, but and again, I remember running into one of them cats, I believe.
Oh, I guarantee you I ran into about 3 or 4 of them when I was there in Memphis, man. That was a good time right there. The motherfuckers had stripper poles in the motherfucking club. I was like, what? The club out.
So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, what we tried to bring you was this, man, is that you have to understand the education of the bike set all falls in your own lap. You can't depend on anybody to give it to you. And if you do reach out or you do study or you do follow, make sure they're certified and approved. Make sure that they're on the slab. Make sure that they're riding a motorcycle. Make sure that they're at the places that you're at. Make sure that you fact check what they're telling you.
That's a lot.
Period. I mean, if I tell you something, I'm gonna stand on it, and I'm gonna stand on the research. And understand. Let me tell y'all something about me. I know y'all waiting on me to tell you a lie. I know y'all waiting on me to tell you some bullshit. This man right here would not be on my platform if he didn't believe in what I stood for, which is truth, honesty, grown man, grown woman, having fun, respecting the set, respecting the tradition and the protocol, the whole night. He wouldn't be there. And when I tell you, from me to you guys, 2 Gunz is certified hands down.
I don't even fuck with nobody that ain't. Look, I'll be real with you. I don't fuck with nobody that ain't certified. 100%. You ain't certified. I ain't fucking with you like that, man. Look, I'm cordial. Hey, what's up, man? Yeah. You good? Blah blah blah. But I'm not really gonna fuck with you unless you certified, because there's just too much shit that we done. There's too much stuff that we done been apart, and to have yourself mixed in with cats that invalidate all your history, that ain't it, man. And I'm always check, you know, even when somebody tell me something, OG tell me, I'm like, yo, let me reach out. You know, a lot of times, you know, they might say some shit. There's some stories I hear, man, I just laugh because I know I'm like, yeah, these motherfuckers are wild. But, you know, in theory, you say, okay, yeah, I got you. I understand where you at, because a lot of that stuff ain't got nothing to do with protocol tradition. It got to do with them motherfuckers just wild as fuck. You know, they just did some crazy shit. So, you know, I mean, anybody that motherfucker, you know, all of a sudden eating some corn, you know, and the person that know what I'm talking about, you know, he know what I'm talking about. But, you know, all of a sudden, right there, finding some corn, you know, that's them stories, man, that you gotta be there, man. You gotta be a part of it. And if you're not, man, I mean, the internet shit is just, you're missing so much of this fucking life that you're gonna, you know, you look back at your life and wish that you had done so much more. Because I'll be honest with you, man, I did so much. I'm like my man just came on. I did so much shit at an early age. Now I'm just kind of like, fuck, what else I'm gonna do? You know, what else am I gonna do? So now I'm just trying to go back through the process and enjoy the time that I had, because when I was younger, I was moving so fast and moving so quick, I never got a chance to really enjoy life on the road and just kind of do that. Because when I retire, y'all motherfuckers y'all gonna be seeing me live on motherfucking FHO. I'm gonna be live on the road. Hopefully we got service.
All right. All right, we got another caller real quick. All right, caller. We got a female on the phone. Miss Lady, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing fine. This is Shake 'em Off.
Hold on, Miss Shake 'em Off. I'm sorry, I got you. Hold on. There we go. There you go. Repeat your name again.
All right. Shake 'em Off.
What's going on, Miss Shake 'em Off? How you doing today? How you doing today?
I'm doing fine. How you doing, Big Fed?
I'm fine. What you want to talk about, Mama?
Well, I want to talk about the females. A lot of things that they don't understand about the set.
Okay.
They really don't understand that it is a man's club, and sometimes they need to stand down and stand in their place. And they have a hard time understanding that. They think it's supposed to be out here just flouncing around and just, do what they need to do. As a woman, as a female, they're supposed to hold the club down.
Mm. Well, that part right there.
So they don't understand it. Now, I'm a female. Now, I'm a female that rides.
Okay.
So that makes a big difference when it comes to a female riding. So, I still stand in my place.
Okay. Well, one of the things too, Ms. Shake 'em Off, that you're speaking of is that, again, it goes back to what Two Guns was saying earlier. You come up in an era and you come up under some men that, first off, are real men. That's number one. Number two, who are MCing,
Correct.
who are MCing the way that MCing is supposed to be done. They taught you.
Correct.
They taught you to understand, to acknowledge, and to appreciate, and to love, and to enjoy the space that you have in this part of the game. And I think that's the part that's being lost. That's the part that's being lost from a lot of females. They're coming into the game, and they're coming in with more of them and less of the MC. Less of the MC knowledge, less of the MC respect, less of the MC protocol. So we need the females like you that represent, that put it down, that ride, that hold it down, to say, hey,
right,
this is your role and this is your position, and embrace it. Because so many people try to downplay. Like even in my book, I wrote a little thing about the social clubs and stuff in the book that I'm writing. But so many people try to downplay the role of the female, and you can't, because they have their role and they have their purpose. You feel what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you right now. If I go to a party and there ain't no females, that's the party that I won't be at but that long. You understand me? So they have a role to play, and they're there for a reason. But I truly thank you and respect the fact that you called in and wanted to put that out there. And we're probably, what I'm gonna do is have you text me your number, because I would like to do a show later on, probably something earlier with just me and you, or me, you and a couple of your lady friends, where we can sit down and do a show for the women about that.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. But my whole before I go out and before you get off, or before I get off, I just want to say one thing about the females, and what they have to understand is that you will learn more if you just stand back and just look and listen.
So much.
But that's common. That's common. That's facts for anything, though.
So much.
Yeah, but you got a lot of them out here and they're doing that. They just, they doing whatever.
Yeah. Hey, make sure you text me. Go ahead. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Hey, one thing I want to tell them, man, just so you guys, and I want you guys to hear this, man. Hear it from me. I'm gonna get in this motherfucking camera, man. Y'all motherfuckers that's out here, man, downsizing or downplaying the fucking role that the ladies is playing in this shit, man. You guys gotta stop that fucking bullshit, man. Because how it works in this thing right now is we are integrated part with each other. The women have a point, or have a process of this, just like the men do. Now, that's the reason why I don't get into the man's club thing, and I don't like to promote that, because I'm not in that situation. I'll tell you what, I got a daughter, ain't a question her ass is gonna be on a fucking bike, because I can't keep her off mine. So I know without a doubt that she's gonna be on a bike, and she should be afforded the same things that we are being afforded. Now, there's gonna be an understanding that there's times and places, there's things that you need to know about the set, and for the ladies, y'all only got 10 years in this. So, it's really like when you're looking at the formation of clubs, you really only got 10 years, maybe 15 years at the most in this process. Where you got men, they got 40, 50 years in this. So it's a big separation. But you can't just get to the point and say, fuck you, I don't want to talk to you because you're a female, because that's not how it is. These ladies out here thirsty for knowledge. They want knowledge, they want information. I hate to say it, man, the lady that came on that she came on a couple events ago. She in LA, right? I don't know what her name was. I forgot her name, but yo, hats off and respect. Not you. I'm talking about the lady from LA that came in and she came on the site.
Okay.
She touched in. Hey, hats off to her because guess what? She's OG, and I don't give a fuck if you're a man or a woman. She had 20 plus 30 years in the game, and I respect what she has to say because she fucking did it. And it ain't no.
You talking about Miss Showtime? You talking about Miss Showtime?
Yeah. Hey, she did it. She done put the mileage in. She done did the things. So how you gonna sit there and belittle what she has to say? Motherfucker, you got 2 years in the motherfucking set. You gonna take somebody got 30 plus? Get the fuck out of here with that, man. And that's the biggest issue with that is bring something to the table, have that information, have that knowledge. I can tell you this without a doubt. I know 2 or 3 ladies out there right now got more motherfucking knowledge than half the motherfuckers is riding bikes right now. Half shit, damn near 90%.
I know some females that got more miles backing up to the curb than most of these motherfuckers got going forward.
I ain't talking about miles. I'm talking about knowledge. They'll break some shit down and give you information that you ain't never heard. You're like, oh, okay, all right, whatever it is. And you got motherfuckers that want to try to downplay or belittle them because you're a man. Nah, man, shit. Hey, I don't give a fuck what it is, man or women. Mileage, I respect that shit. That's what I respect. Don't come to me with that. Oh man, look, shut the fuck up, put some miles in, then I'll talk to you.
There it is, there, man. Hey, Hey, shout out to my man Trulu Records. I got it, man. Trulu Records, what's happening with you, baby? In the building. Say, man, Gunz dropped some knowledge on y'all today, man. Gunz kept it 100 with y'all today. I hope y'all can appreciate that. Also, don't forget to donate to the channel, man. Your donations are needed in order to keep this whole thing moving, man. These programs we got and all the stuff that we got going on. Gunz, what you got for him in closing, man?
Hey, no, man. I just want to make sure giving a shout out to my man Duke, man. He went down last night on his bike. He came out of surgery, so looking like he gonna pull through. So just shout out to him, man. I'm hoping a quick recovery and shit like that. But other than that, hey, we'll be back again next Wednesday.
There it is, there, man. For me, I want to tell y'all, man. Listen, man. Stay safe, man. Don't send me no more COVID inboxes. I don't need to hear from no more doctors. I don't need to hear from no more experts, no more specialists. I don't need to hear from no more. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And I'm telling y'all right now, I'm finna start riding my motorcycle. I done gave y'all every opportunity for this thing to end the world around here. And again, I'm not downplaying it and I'm not being insensitive. Please understand that. I'm just telling you, it is what it is, man. Stay safe, wash your hands, wash your ass, wash what you touch, watch who around you, give everybody 6 feet, put a mask on if you have to go out. You know what I'm saying? Put a mask. When I go out, I put a mask on. That way I don't breathe on nobody, don't nobody breathe on me. Other than that, man, make sure you fact check who you fact checking, who you getting your facts from. Make sure you fact check who you getting your facts from.
Check them.
Please do. Check their pedigree. We used to say back in the day, what's their pedigree?
Yeah,
check their pedigree.
For real. Jailhouse rules and that shit.
You understand me? Check their pedigree. It is what it is, man. Another beautiful night, MC 101. Don't forget, if you have not subscribed to the page on Facebook, it's MC 101, Tradition and Protocol. Make sure you go over there, subscribe, support it, do what you got to do, ask your questions. You can ask a question there and not be ridiculed.
Bleed that shit.
You can call me, like y'all do. Call me anytime with questions and all that. I'm answering as best as I can. If I don't know, I'll figure it out for you. We'll get to the bottom of it. And again, it just is what it is, man. So as always, I'm gonna tell you, love is the key, man. Having fun on your motorcycle, loving yourself, loving each other, respecting each other, stand in your own lane, ride the ride that you can ride. Don't try to outdo nobody else or keep up with nobody else that you can't keep up with.
Get your mileage.
Get it in, man. And to everybody, man, I love you. Thank you for tuning in as always, man. It's MC 101. We here, man.
Hey, if anybody want to go to California, in August, man, let me know what's up, man. We rolling from the East Coast to the West Coast.
Let's get it. I'm in. I'm all. I'm in.
Gunz.
I'm definitely in on that. Hey man, see y'all next Wednesday. Never know. Tune in. I might go live again tomorrow morning. Got some shit to talk about.
Tune in every Wednesday around 7 p.m. for pure motherfucking facts on FHO Podcast Radio. MC 101, where motorcycling is life.
Sell you a fool for this one. That's right. FHO. Shit. Let's roll. Huh? FHO. 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 Selling your radio. FHO. FHO. Your best podcast show since the Misfits couldn't carry on, but I'ma carry on and get the party cracking. The homegirl 7